professor will give you battle ready to take your competition down. I hear the bell. Let's get to class.
Welcome once again to Fantasy University alongside the professor. I'm NOSTER. Today we're going to be talking to you about NFC tight ends. And we really want to just clear it up and just keep it nice and simple and talk about 8 or 9 names that you really need to target, especially if you have to have a tight end. And in my mind, I could be wrong, probably am, but I like Vernon Davis the best out of this bunch. What do you think, Professor?
Well, I like Vernon Davis. Jason Witten also is a really nice tight end, and there's some other nice ones. Tony Gonzalez, he's still putting up decent numbers for Atlanta.
Very consistent.
And what do you think about Minnesota's tight end situation? It looks pretty promising.
Shianko has really come into his own. He had some really nice games. He showed potential, and as the season went on, he was very consistent with his game. So he's a very nice option in that offense. I like him a lot. And a guy who I think is really getting better as time goes by is Kevin Boss of the New York Giants.
Yeah, he really looked really good last year after they got rid of the often injured Jeremy Shockey. And he really stepped in and did a lot better job actually than what Shockey was doing because, well, Shockey wasn't playing.
And Shockey has had a very fine year for New Orleans. He's looking good there. He just had a medical procedure right before we went on air here. We're on Memorial Day weekend, so keep look in the papers to see how Shockey is recovering. One of the really good names of up and coming, and he was the subject of a lot of trade talk, but he did not change teams, is Greg Olsen of the Chicago Bears.
Hey, I really like Olsen. I think if Cutler, like I've said earlier, can get his act together, play a little better, I really like Olsen to start really stepping it up and be more visible in terms of the rankings and at tight ends.
Yeah, Olsen is not a sleeper to anybody who played the game last year. If you're just getting into it, or if you're not if you're just localized and you're not from the Chicago area, you might say, who is this guy? But he is for real, he's on the radar, and he's getting better. And speaking of somebody who's coming on the radar and just getting better and better, is this guy from Philadelphia, Brent Selleck.
Yes, he's definitely looking like an up-and-comer. He's really played well. That was Donovan McNabb. We got to see now how is he going to do with the new quarterback under the helm in Philadelphia. Whether his progress will increase, decrease, or stay put.
And if you've been following us on this podcast as we go along from position to position, you know, the professor and I don't always agree on everything, and the Philadelphia quarterback situation is one. But I will give the professor the right to be wrong, and he's doing that very well here. I believe in Kevin Kolb. He don't.
I don't. Hey, like I say, I'm from Missouri. Show me. I don't think he showed me yet. So do it. Michael Vick, he has done it. He did it with Atlanta. Yeah, he had to go to jail. He lost his job. He's back.
He hasn't done it for a few years. Another guy. And this team actually has 2 tight ends. Whichever one's starting, you can be happy with because Chris Cooley is the real deal in Washington. And last year when he was out, Fred Davis showed up and did a nice job of filling in. So that's a situation to watch.
Especially Cooley now that Donovan McNabb, who, as we spoke of earlier, well, he put Selleck on the map, so maybe Cooley can up his game just a little bit more because Cooley's already on the map.
Cooley is on the map as long as he stays healthy, but you want to watch that situation. If he ever goes down, you want to jump on Fred Davis. He showed he can do it also.
Got a quick question for the NOS. What do you think about the Detroit tight end situation? Because I know you're really up on this Detroit situation. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are.
I like the Detroit situation because of the tight ends. They drafted Pettigrew last year. He's got a year of experience. He knows the system, and they made a trade for Tony Scheffler, who is not inexperienced himself. So they got two good tight ends that they can put on the field at the same time.
This Tony Scheffler guy, I'm sorry, Nos, but this Tony Scheffler guy, tell the people what you think of Tony Scheffler and what he's done in the past in terms of...
He is known more for his blocking ability. So, and Brandon Pettigrew will be the pass-catching tight end. But what they'll do as a tandem is they'll make Matthew Stafford better, because either one of them can go out and be that emergency option at any time. Pettigrew will be the better fantasy option, but knowing that Scheffler is there is something you need to know, like you need to know something about the offensive lineman. You're not going to draft them, but you need to know which offensive line is good and which one isn't, because that affects the rest of the team. This Tony Scheffler guy will make the people around him better, even if he is not somebody you want to target on draft day.
Yeah, I noticed a few years ago when Jay Cutler was still in Denver, Tony Scheffler, he really looked good in some games. I mean, he's got some speed, so he can take it downfield, 20-yard routes and stuff. So he's not just a blocking tight end. I think he can step up to the game in terms of fantasy-wise. But I'm with you. I think Pettigrew, he's the pick.
Pettigrew's the first option.
Yeah, the first option. But you always look at second options too sometimes.
Yeah, can't have too many good tight ends.
That's true.
Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts proved that. I mean, they just keep going from Pollard to Clark and who's next and down the line, and that's what makes good teams good.
That's true.
I'm a firm believer in having a good tight end. I think we pretty much talked about the 9 that we want to target here. So pretty much, if you think there's somebody else we're leaving go, feel free to email us at fantasyuniversity00@yahoo.com, and we'll do our best to get back with you and answer your questions, or see how your comments come, and we're interested in what you have to say. I'm Noster. He's the professor.
Have a good day and a better tomorrow.
That's right.